turned out there's some up here all the time. So.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Would you guys like me to take notes?
Awesome. You're going to be better at that.
I'm happy to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I always keep my own, but I never like finding the official.
Yeah, there's kind of a
Yeah.
a duties. I'm not sure if there's anything set in stone, but.
And we do record, so you can always use that as a backup.
Yeah.
Could you check to make sure your microphone's on? We've had a rash of people. We put the sneeze button, sneeze button.
Sneeze button.
A little box, yeah.
Yeah.
Is mine
Yeah.
on? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think mine's on.
Did you push the button?
Push the button.
Ready, call the center taper?
Oh, we put those back on.
That's right.
Sounds good.
Welcome.
These are supposed to be area microphones, but I'm finding that you still got to talk directly into them. So,
Yeah.
I'm learning the controls here.
you know what? I have them set. Don't mess them up.
I want, well,
see him going like pushing
all kinds of buttons.
Like, what's this do?
well, no, I want to see which ones because I'm technically not at the right.
Township self-destruct building.
Well, you
All
know,
right, all right, just don't. All right, so I got them set up for home and one, and it'll zoom in and it'll box it just the way that. Lately, I've been getting from here up. You know. What the heck? So I set it. Yeah.
well, I wanted to see because
Yeah, you're good.
they're backwards
Joe, are you
on
ready
here.
for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for
The
this.
podium's on that side of the thing. So. Okay.
Joe, what's your last name again?
Sites,
Sites.
S-I-T-E-S.
Ready when you are.
All right. 1904. We'll call this meeting to order.
Sounds good.
It's 7:04 for the rest of us.
Sorry, I always do my time in 24 o'clock. I just don't normally talk about time with everyone here. All right, first item on the agenda for tonight is the approval of minutes from the November 21st, 2024 meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
I'm trying to remember, was I present for that meeting?
You were not.
I didn't think I was.
I'm looking at the notes.
So I hear an approval, or I hear a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Don't you have to table it?
We
No.
have two people.
Because,
Two can approve.
okay, I
Yeah.
just want to
Yeah.
check.
Yep.
Yep.
I thought you had
So
to.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
And I abstain.
okay.
Okay. Review of previous decisions. Jack, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, you'll find a copy of the BOS agenda from December 2nd. Call your attention to page 2. Keystone 76 Development, 2, that was the property up on Coomer Road, is bounded by Glass Hill, Coomer Road, and Cowden Road. It died, the motion died for a lack of a second. So it may come back around. I don't believe it has to go through planning again. But this was the one that they were looking at converting R1 to mixed-use residential. And there was a good bit of discussion, and then it just didn't get a second. The other item, the Murray lot line revision that passed 5-0 on December 2nd. That's all.
Thank you. Next item on the, now we're moving on to old business on the agenda. The first item is application 2024-0029, Alto Piano Phase 6, revised lots 528, 601 to 604.
Joe, do you have anything on it?
Yeah, I do. There's the plan there. That's taking 4 lots and making them 3 lots. That lot 601R that you see there, that's the lot that's being divided up between the other 3 lots. So the items we have basically, excuse me, administrative things. One, all the owner's names and addresses must be shown on the plan. The Whiteman and the Beacon's information must be shown. 2, the original property lines must be shown and labeled to be eliminated or Z together. Where you see the sanitary sewer going across lot 528R and on the back of, or on the upper part of lot 601R, the sanitary sewer is where the lot line is. It needs to be extinguished. That's part of that old lot. Number 3, a mortgage or no mortgage clause must be added to the Mydell Family Trust, and the township may have additional comments. So that's all we have, just those administrative or housekeeping items that need to be cleaned up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see what they're trying to do. This plan's doesn't quite show what it needs to show yet, right? There's a little bit of issue there.
It does and it doesn't. It's like this.
I can tell what they want to do, but I don't think it shows it right.
It's what there's, like I said, that sanitary sewer line that's shown on there. The sanitary sewer is running with the 20-foot easement.
Yeah.
It's centered on that. So that's where the lot line is now that's to be extinguished. And there's also another lot line here just north of,
In line with where their fence used to be.
yeah, where the fence was. So that's supposed to be wiped out. And then the new heavy light lines that are in the middle of lot 601 are the new lot lines that are to be addressed. So we want them to put Z's on the lot lines to be extinguished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was
Yeah.
referring to, that
Yeah.
part of it. So, yeah, it's clear what they want to do, though, and I think it's easy to
Yeah.
straighten up.
I don't have any questions either.
Yeah. Any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve application 20240029 Alto Piano Phase 6 revised lots 528 and 601 through 604 contingent upon the Gateway Engineers comment letter dated December 17th, 2024 being fulfilled.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is application 2024-0031, Lanks Consolidation Plan.
Again, a very simple consolidation plan. The 2 lots, excuse me, that have frontage on Johns Avenue and on the 20-foot alley are being consolidated into 1 lot for the construction of a new dwelling. The comments we have are the property owner's current address must be shown on the plan. Number 2, it appears a portion of the proposed vacant's property address is shown on the plan. To complete the address, it must be in agreement with what's on the application. In the upper left-hand corner of the plan, it says Timothy and Nancy Lankeys, Johns Avenue, McDonald, PA. There's no street address and there's no zip code. Number 3, the combined property must be given a unique name such as lot number 1. Number 4, Johns Avenue is a state route and must be referenced with the state route number on the plan. That's a housekeeping item. Number 5, the private street notice must be revised. It currently incorrectly states any streets shown in this plan, et cetera, et cetera. And John Avenue is a state route. The private street refers to must be labeled as such in the plan view. I believe that's the 20-foot alley, I'm sorry. Number 6, the proposed building must be removed from the plan. A separate building permit from Cecil Township will be needed. Number 7, approval from the Midway Sewage Authority must be provided to the township upon receipt. Johns Avenue originates and goes through McDonald Borough, and then it comes into a portion of Cecil Township. So that's all the sewage is going into the Midway Sewage Treatment Facility. Number 8, the owner's adoption and acknowledgement clauses appear to be referenced a different plan. Ruth Gillespie Living Trust, please verify and revise the clauses if necessary, and there may be additional comments. So basically just some housekeeping items that Mr. Mounts needs to make on the plan in order for it to be, in order for approval.
It seems like the majority of it is administrative.
Yes.
The only thing that might take some time, particularly regarding the time of year that it is the approval from Midway.
Yes, I would agree.
So would you say with that in mind, would it be better for us to table this for the applicant or to just approve it conditionally?
I would say approve it conditionally so that, they can move forward. And I mean, the only outstanding thing would be that sewage with Midway, but they can't get a building permit until they've got sewage anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I don't have anything further. Christie,
Yeah.
you hit on 2 issues I had.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything. Any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve application 2024-0031 Land Use Consolidation Plan, contingent upon all items from the December 17th, 2024 letter from Gateway Engineers being addressed.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor? Motion carries. All right. Do not see any new business.
Nope.
Anybody have any new business they want to bring forward?
Only one item, because I know we spoke about it at the last meeting verbally, now I'm going to blank on it. There was the original proposal for us to consider making a recommendation on removing the ability to do cluster development in the township. I thought, maybe I'm making it in my head, but I thought we were going to potentially look at that this month or at some upcoming meeting further. Any information on that, Jack?
I have, right now, I have nothing to share with you. It's still being discussed, so I really have nothing on paper to provide to you. Once I do, I'll get it out, and then it'll be on the agenda for the next time.
Thanks, Jack. That was the only thing I could think of that was outstanding from last time.
I did see that in the minutes, and it was like, well, hopefully this is going to be one of the several things we're going to address in the beginning of the year.
Okay, that makes sense.
The only thing I wanted to bring up tonight was, and we don't have to discuss, we don't have to take action on it, it can be something we can think about for next month as well, is, that some recent development and some other discussions we've had have brought a few things to light. There's a couple things that I think we can still take action on or make recommendations that the Board of Supervisors take action on in our position as the Planning Commission relevant to the comprehensive plan and seeing, kind of shepherding the township along and fulfilling the vision that's within the comprehensive plan. So a couple of things that I've thought about and I think I've discussed in here before, if the township is looking to start to seriously consider the idea that developers are going to start looking at property up around the Cowden Farm and properties up in that area, such as the property that Keystone 76 was looking at to develop, that we need to address infrastructure. I think it's a couple of things we could potentially look at is making a recommendation to the township to work with to actively work with the Montour Trail Council to see if there's some solution or resolution they can come up with, some way to improve Glass Hill Road in that underpass. It's a dangerous underpass if that's going to start being developed. Start trying to engage the state with improvements to, help me out here, that's not Coomer, is it?
Which one?
Coming out on the 980 to top of the hill.
Top of the hill is Coomer Road.
That is Coomer there? Yeah. So Coomer interacts with 980. I think the township.
Let me back up. Coomer at the intersection. You got Glass Hill, Coomer, you got Schifani, and you got Vincenti. So Vincenti goes from the four-way intersection to 980.
That's the one, yeah. So Vincenti, the intersection of Vincenti and 980, I think, you know, yeah, it's a dangerous intersection. And if we're going to start, if developers are starting to take a look at property up there and the Board of Supervisors is open to the idea of that area of the township being developed, you know, relative to what control they have over that, we need to start a conversation with the state. The state moves glacially slow compared to us, so the sooner the better. You know, Glass Hill Road, that could move faster, but I think that's probably going to be grant money dependent. And then also Coomer at Muse Bishop Road.
Oh, yeah.
That whole mess of an intersection there, which again is going to take coordination with the state and probably grant money as well. So I think these are projects that if we're going to, you know, see the town, you know, if developers are going to continue wanting to develop in this township, and we're also going to see, you know, continue to follow the comprehensive plan, I think those are things that we need to be looking at. Also, and I mentioned this 2 months ago when we talked about the Keystone 76 development, you know, there's always the option of expanding township parks and recreation facilities for our residents. And that property, that it is, being that it is on the market and it is adjacent to the existing crown jewel of our park system, I think that it's the town. I think it'd be wise for the township to, you know, take a good look at that property and have a conversation with that property owner to see if there's a way that possibly the township could take ownership of that property and expand our parks. So yeah, I'm just spitballing here. If this morphs into a motion tonight, it could. If it morphs into a motion at a later date, that's fine. If it just dies on the vine, that's it is what it is. But
I certainly am in agreement for some of those intersections that are not safe, and improving those. Safety is obviously pretty high on my priority list. Knowing that people drive faster than ever, people don't pay attention, people aren't, you know, even ones that live around here. It's almost complacency driven at that point. So, and I do agree that we've got a place and a role in the Planning Commission to help spur some of the initial discussions about how we implement some of this underneath the comprehensive plan. And I think I mentioned this last time, you know, if funding becomes an issue or at least a discussion point, the township does have the ability to utilize Act 13 monies as well from the oil and gas development that's occurred in the township. That's a pot of money that can be looked at along with other sources of money from the state and even at the federal level too.
yeah,
So
yeah, I think with the Rails to Trails project,
yeah,
that underpass there on Glass Hill Road, I think there's numerous, you know, well-known funding sources that could be available to both the township and to the Montour Trail Council to move that project along if all parties were in agreement on it. You know, again, the other two intersections with state roads, that's a little harder to move things along, but the state's not going to start that conversation.
no,
The township has to start the conversation.
yeah.
Because the state's moving, you know, is constantly trying to play catch up with itself, let alone looking ahead to what the future issues are.
I know Joe and Dan had something to do with Burnside, and you see how nice that turned out.
Right.
Because they took that sharp turn and that steep
Yeah.
slide, basically.
Yeah.
The biggest problem we have up on Glass Hill is there's no stop sign going up the hill because they can't. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, in winter, somebody gets stuck on that hill.
Yep.
Where are they going to go? You know, so there's no stop sign there. There are actually two stop signs in that four-way intersection.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you don't know who's thinking what, and you got to think twice as you go through that intersection. You know,
Yeah.
the more cars go up through there, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
And as Jason said, you know, that Vincenti at 980. I mean, you come down there and basically what you have to do is you have to almost make the right just to see down the hill and then hope nothing's coming up over,
Right.
faster than, and then get out there,
Yeah, and any of those that are intersecting state roads, you have to approach it as a safety issue, and you have to look at the history. I know I've worked with PennDOT a lot in my professional life, and if you can get them to come out, and the district office is 10 or 12, and I forget which district is our district. Is it 10 or 12? 12.
12, yeah.
Okay. You get somebody from there to come out and take a look at an intersection, or at least drive it on their own, and maybe even offer some statistics. That's how you get them to move, or at least move quicker than they usually move.
Yeah, and I think the issue we're going to run into with Vincenti and 980 is that I don't think, and I don't have the statistics available to me, but just off of my just layman's knowledge of just living in the area and paying attention to that stuff, I don't think we have a huge history of accidents there currently. I think there's very few people that use the road.
Right.
And those people that use the road know, it's sketchy. So you got to get there. You kind of got to know, and you got to go.
Yeah.
But Keystone 76, that development's a bit of an eye opener, because when you start developing up there, now you start getting.
You're going to add traffic.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, instead of 5 households using that road in a given day, now all of a sudden you're looking at the
100.
potential for 155
Yep.
households using that intersection a day.
And then you start to look at whether or not a traffic impact study is something you want to look at, as far as how many additional cars are going to be using that intersection. And then when you look at it and you do a little field trip with PennDOT, this is why we need help improving this intersection.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine the developer saying, well, the majority of the traffic's going to go down, going to go down, help me out, Cowden Road down into was it Ridgewood? Is it Ridgewood Heights?
Oh, yeah, coming down the hill.
Coming down that way, and they're going to go access that way, and so they're going to try to deflect. I mean, it's just natural. You're going to, as a developer, you're going to deflect away from the, you're going to be like, well, majority of people should go this way.
You can never control what people are going to do.
No,
they're going to go wherever they.
Exactly.
You're right.
Easiest way.
Right.
Right.
And, same thing with the water. I mean, the water's gonna come,
Huh?
down the hill. It's
Yeah.
gonna come down Glass Hill, because,
Right.
Cowden, it's Cowden Road coming down. That's too long.
Right.
To get to, Route 50.
Yeah.
Glass Hill would be ideal, which is a good time for them to address the train trestle.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's my thoughts. I don't know what the two of you think about that. Is that something that the two of you be open to us, make it, we don't have to do it all at once, but maybe make a motion on an item or two tonight, or is it something we want to wait till maybe next month and hopefully have all 5 of us here?
I like the idea of having all 5 of us here
I'm okay
for
with
something formal, but I do like the direction and identifying, prioritizing this list, using safety as the barometer. That's my personal preference.
I mean, the Rising Road underpass.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's been high on my list for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
And, maybe if I found a way to clone myself, I'd take on that crusade. But it's another one that, is separate from that property, but is very similar, is where, if we're going to, start developing Uprising Road with MUR and MUC,
Yep.
pushing development that direction, then we need to be addressing that dangerous underpass.
Yep.
And there's a solution available that is, to my knowledge, Jack, we've talked, the property owner is open to the idea of that. So, but it's going to require substantial state cooperation.
Yeah, and that's where we got to get that ball rolling early, because I think if there's going to be any delays, it's getting the state involved to do something. So, you want me to just add that for discussion for next time?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be good. I'd like that.
I agree.
Okay, thank you. Do you two have anything? Jack, you have anything else for us?
I'm good. Joe?
Like to wish every,
You both do. Very festive.
Thank you.
All I got was socks. Oh, yeah. We're not going to see that on camera.
I'd like to wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yeah.
And everybody watching.
Yes. We'll see you all next month. We have a
I'll make
motion
a-
to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 19:28.
I like it.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.